Good morning, traders. This is Jeff Zettel with BYOA Investments, giving you your update for May 25th. This morning, I'm focusing on euro dollar and pound dollar, as the commodity currencies have really already made their big moves for today. Right now, I'm looking at euro dollar. On the daily trend lines, we had a big break in the earlier in the month, and have since been trending downwards. Today I'm focusing in on the 1 hour charts, where we've had a solid trend line break right here, as well as a bounce on the backside of the trend line, and then a bearish engulfing candle heading down on the hourly charts. Since then we've seen some follow through, and it's something that on a bit of a retrace I would suggest getting in on, in my opinion. You can also see on the 4 hour chart that we have had a retrace from the recent down move up to the 31.8% retracement zone, followed by a 4 hour engulf candle, and since then we've seen some movement heading down. Going over to pound dollar, we have a trend line bounce on the daily, which doesn't quite materialize fully on the 4 hour charts. However, we have also seen a 4 hour engulfing candle heading down. But today, within the hourly charts, we have had a little bit of a trend, or sorry, not a trend, but a range break from the Asia session lows, and it's looking like we're heading down further. If we look at a simple trend line on the hourly charts, we're looking at a move possibly down towards the 6120 region before we see possible support, in my opinion. As we look over at the commodity currencies, namely Aussie dollar next, we see that we've had continued move down on the daily chart. The hourly chart has just been tanking out, and we've already moved over 100 pips in the Asia session. This is not something that I would recommend getting into right now, as it's already moved so much. We can look for a pullback in this down move before heading in, but as it stands right now, this is not something that I would trade this morning. Same goes for New Zealand dollar. Daily, we've been stuck in this range between 78 and 80. And as we look over at the 4 hour charts, we're coming in on a trend line. What this means to me is that we can possibly see a slowdown and a reversal along this trend line, which you may want to trade this morning if you're thinking that the dollar is going to be going down again today. If you see some risk buying, it's something that I would recommend getting into. Would possibly be a New Zealand dollar position off of this 4 hour trend line. As far as dollar Canada goes, we've had a daily trend line break. The 4 hour charts have been moving up with a recent 4 hour engulf candle, and the hourly has also been moving up, breaking the 98.10 region. However, since this has moved so much already, it's not something I'm looking to get into right at this moment. And that is our update for today, May 25th.